Hello everyone. In this video, we'll do the daily current affairs analysis of 16th October 2021. So the first topic which we'll discuss is the Amrut 2.0 scheme. So why it is in the news? The Union Cabinet has approved the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation 2.0 until 2025 and 2026. This is a step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, which aims to make cities water safe and self-sufficient with a circular water economy background. The AMRUT has been introduced to make life easier for the citizens of 500 cities by providing tap and sewer connections. To date, 1.1 crore sewer connections have been connected. AMRUT 2.0 100% access to water for all households in urban areas by providing approximately 68 crore tap connections, 100% sewerage installation and sanitation in 500 AMRUT cities by donating approximately 64 crore septage pipes, apply the round ecosystems approach, promote the conservation and rehabilitation of groundwater bodies, data management approach to be deployed in the water management, technology submission to use the latest global technology and skills, Payjal Sarvekshan, promoting inter-urban competition. So the prelims shortling topics are: what are the features of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan 2.0 and the AMRUT 2.0, which department will be involved in its implementation, what will be the contribution of the state government and its obligations, what parameters will be used to monitor the system. Source of this news is this article from the Money Control. You can read that. So next is about the UN Human Rights Council. It is from GS paper 2 and topic is international relations. So why it is in news? India is being re-elected to the UN Human Rights Council for the sixth time by a majority. In addition, the US has also joined more than 3 years after Trump's administration left the UNHRC for what it called a perpetual bias against Israel and a lack of reform. About the UNHRC, the UNHRC was reconstituted from the previous organization, the UN Commission on Human Rights, to help overcome the lack of loyalty of the previous organization. Its headquarters are in Geneva, Switzerland. Composition: the UNHRC has 47 members working at all times, with elections held to fill seats each year based on regional allocations around the world and to ensure local representation. Each elected member serves a 3-year term. Countries are not allowed to stay in the chair for more than 2 consecutive terms. Activities: the UNHRC extends non-binding decisions on human rights issues through periodic review of all the 193 UN member states, or the Universal Periodic Review (UPR), conducts specialist investigations of criminal offences in certain countries under special procedures. Challenges and need for change: the human rights records of member states such as Saudi Arabia, China and Russia in the Council also did not align with the goals and objectives of the UNHRC, which led critics to question its validity. Despite the ongoing participation of several Western countries in the UNHRC, they continue to maintain skepticism in the understanding of human rights. Non-compliance has been a major problem with regard to the functioning of the UNHRC. Non-participation of powerful nations like the US. Prelim throttling topics are about the UNHRC, its composition, what is a global time review, UNHRC headquarters, countries which have recently left and also joined the UNHRC. Source of this news is this article from The Hindu. You can read that to get a better understanding of the topic. So what is the One Health Consortium? It is from GS paper 2 and topic is health related issues. So why it is in the news? The Department of Biotechnology has launched the One Health Union. It is DBT's first One Health project. About the project, it is brought out to carry out surveillance of key diseases caused by viruses and zoonotic parasites, as well as cross-border diseases in the country. The project also looks at the use of existing diagnostic trials and the development of additional methods to monitor and understand the spread of emerging diseases. Composition: the One Health Consortium has 27 organizations led by the DBT, National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, Hyderabad. The need and importance of the One Health approach: the COVID-19 epidemic has highlighted the importance of One Health principles in the management of infectious diseases, especially efforts to prevent and contain zoonotic diseases worldwide. Therefore, there is a need for a holistic approach to understand the human, animal, and wildlife health to reduce the damage caused by the upcoming epidemics. What is the concept of One Health? One Health is a collaborative effort of many sectors working locally, nationally, and internationally together to achieve the well-being of our people, animals, and our environment as defined by the One Health Initiative Task Force. One Health model supports a variety of disease control measures to control emerging and existing zoonotic threats. What are zoonotic diseases? The term zoonosis, plural zoonosis, was coined by Rudolf Virchow in 1880 to put together diseases transmitted by humans and animals. The WHO in 1959 later described zoonosis as one of the most common diseases and diseases inherent in humans and invertebrates. Zoonosis can be bacterial, viral, or parasitic, or they may include other abnormal substances. Concerns as well as being a public health problem, many of the major zoonotic diseases prevent the proper production of food from animals and create barriers to international trade in animal products. India's framework and programs. India's vision of One Health is rooted in a three-state agreement that includes the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations (FAO), the World Organization for Animal Health (OIE), the World Health Organization (WHO), and the United Nations Environmental Programme (UNEP), which is an international initiative supported by the United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF) and the World Bank, with the ultimate goal of contributing to one world, one health. In line with long-term goals, India established the Zoonosis State Representative Committee much later in the 1980s. This year, funds were approved to establish a single health center in Nagpur. The Department of Animal Husbandry (DHD) has launched a number of strategies to reduce the spread of animal diseases since 2015, with a funding pattern in the 60:40 ratio. Short-lived topics are One Health sector under the National Mission on Biodiversity and Human Well-being, zoonotic versus vector-borne diseases, common One Health issues. Source of this news is this article from the Hindu Business Line. You can read that to get better understanding of the topic. Next is the Gati Shakti mission. It is from GS paper 3. Topic is infrastructure related issues. So why it is in news? The PM Gati Shakti National Development Plan for Infrastructure Development has been launched recently. It aims to boost multimodal connectivity and drive down logistics costs. About the PM Gati Shakti mission, it is a digital platform that connects 16 departments, including highways, railways, shipping, petrol and gas, power, telephone, freight, and aircraft. It aims to ensure the overall planning and implementation of infrastructure projects. Initiatives offered. The site will provide 200 layers of geographical data, including existing infrastructure such as roads, highways, railways, and toll plazas, as well as geographical information about forests, rivers, and regional boundaries to assist in planning and obtaining permits. The site will also allow various government departments to track in real time and in a single location the progress of various projects, especially those that affect many sectors and regions. Significance. The aim is to ensure that each department now has the visibility of each other's activities to provide sensitive information while planning and performing tasks in a comprehensive manner. In this way, the various departments will be able to prioritize their projects through intersectoral collaboration. It will also increase last mile connections and reduce the cost of ordering with integrated planning and reduce startup traffic. Need for poor infrastructure planning includes newly constructed roads dug by the water department to lay pipes. This has adversely affected road infrastructure and national mobility. Also, the cost of management in India is about 13 to 14% of GDP, which is 7 to 8% of GDP in the developed countries. Higher management costs, property costs within the economy make it more expensive for retailers to ship goods to the consumers. Children's shortling topics are about the project, key features of this, and also the various initiatives under this project. Source of this uses this article from the Indian Express. So next is the Kargil War Memorial at Dras. It's a prelim specific topic. So the Dras is known as the gateway to Ladakh and is famous for its hiking trails and tourist attractions. It is a very important military point where the Indian Army personnel have to endure high and low temperatures throughout the year to monitor the LOC. It is one of the coldest places in the world where temperatures drop below minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius. Minus 40 degrees Celsius. Located between Zojila Pass and the city of Kargil, the average temperature in the Dras begins below 20 degrees Celsius in winter and is often referred to as the coldest region in India. So why it is in news? President Ramnath Kovind celebrated the Dashera event with the Indian Army soldiers in the Kargil Dras area. So this is the first post article is the source of this news. Next is about the Wealth Redistribution Council. It is a film-specific topic. So the new Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has unveiled the new council. Purpose: there will be the work to develop strategies to combat wealth inequality and redistribute wealth in households. Composition: the panel will consist of a mix of ministers and private sector representatives. At least 7 independent members will be women. The source of this news is this article from the Indian Express. You can read that for getting better understanding of the topic. And also for prelims, there can be a question that the word redistribution council recently seen in the news has been instituted or has been conceptualized by which of the following country? And options can be India, Japan, USA, China, Australia, or any of the countries, major countries can be as options. So the answer of that question will be Japan. And in case of mains, you have to do the analysis of why income inequality exists in India. That why the 90% wealth of in India is held by only 1% of the Indians. Why is it so? What are the various reasons of this? And what are the various government initiatives to reduce this income inequality? Because once the economic inequality is reduced, so automatically the economic justice will be ensured, and once economic justice is ensured, automatically the social justice will be ensured, because the social prestige and the social status of those individuals will automatically get enhanced. And once the social and economic justice is achieved, so the political justice will also get achieved, because then those individuals will have better independence to take the political decisions, like the which political ideology or the which political party they want to support. They can better decide on that. So once the social, economic, political justice is ensured, this has to be balanced with the concept of environmental justice. That we do not have to only think about economic justice, only think about increasing the economic productivity at the cost of unsustainably using the environment. Okay, unsustainably damaging the environment. So we have to use the environment in a sustainable manner and also ensure environmental justice while we are trying to ensure economic, social, and political justice. And once these all four things are combined, so the values mentioned in the preamble, which are the justice, equality, liberty, these all will be ensured, and automatically fraternity will be fulfilled. The idea of fraternity will be fulfilled, and the government's vision of sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas will also get fulfilled. So this is how you have to link. And also you always have to have a solution oriented approach. Problems can be identified by anyone. Any well-read person can identify the problem. But as a civil servant, your future job, your future task will be to provide the solutions, innovative and sustainable and long-term and also short-term solutions to the already identified problems. And also when a new problem is identified, then you have to give the sustainable and short-term, long-term solutions at that moment also for those problems. So that is why whenever you are studying a particular topic, you have to do a proper analysis of that, like why, what are the reasons for this, what the government is currently doing to reduce the menace caused by this particular thing. Okay, and what are the various government initiatives in that regard, and also what can government do in the future, and also in the short term and in the long run, what are the various sustainable solutions and the various practical solutions you have to give. You can't give impractical solutions. Okay, you can't give impractical solutions for the already identified problems. You have to problems, the solutions that are practical, sustainable, and achievable. So that is the way you have to analyze the question, analyze the things you are studying, and that analysis when you do in your mind, automatically your answer writing ability in before you are writing the mains, that will improve, and ultimately it will get reflected in your mains answer sheet. That you have to only increase the your presentation, you have to increase by the use of flowcharts, diagrams, that you can do, but the analysis you have to do in your mind while you are studying a particular topic, and that will help you a lot in writing answers to questions which UPSC throws at you in the exam, which you are not aware about. Then if you have done a proper analysis of various other topics and various other questions, then you can write above average answers for unexpected questions also, and that will help you to stay ahead of the competition, because that will ultimately help you secure the rank. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching the analysis video. Have a nice day.